All right. We are back up and we are now in regular session. There is no action needed based on what we discussed in executive session. And what that means is we would have needed a vote if we were going to amend our charter to be K to fifth. And we have decided to remain with our plan of moving K to sixth next or staying K to sixth next year. So we will have sixth grade, and we hope that you all return. Thank you so much for your input tonight. It really did mean a lot to the board. It was not something that we had really wanted to consider, but we
I
are
don't
really
know if you
happy
just
to
saw that
hear you.
celebration, but
I missed the celebration, so um, all right. So thank you all again for your input. So the next item on the agenda is Elizabeth's director's report. So Elizabeth, if you'd like to move forward with that. You should still have sharing permissions to share your screen.
sure. Okay. All right. Can you all see that? All right. Melanie, can you read our mission statement?
Compass Collegiate Academy provides every scholar with the academic foundation and strong habits that inspire and cultivate lifelong learners who lead purposeful civic lives.
Thank you. Thank you. So in these past few weeks, um, we have done a lot of things. We started a lot of after school programs. First tee kicked back off with golf. So we have a number of our scholars who are going to the golf course every week. We've got Lego Club, Empowered Play, which is a girls' sports program and empowerment program in grades 3 through 5, Chess Club, and Cursive Club. We have a number of teammates who are going through letters training, which is a science of reading based training program, which takes I think about like 7 or 8 days, full school days throughout the course of the year. So about once a month, they engage in that. Updating for grants that we did apply for. We did not receive the Charter School Growth Fund or Workforce Development grants, but we did receive the ATI Foundation grant for $5,000. So that was really exciting. We have interviewed a lot of people. So we are in peak hiring season. We've interviewed over 30 people. And we are now also in the height of our adept evaluation. So for teachers to maintain their licensure, some of them have to be observed by 2 different observers for a full lesson with a pre-conference, post-conference. And so we are making sure we're doing all that and meeting those deadlines. Um, We've taken a few field trips. We started the Strengthening Families program, which happens once a week after school in the evening time. Fifth grade attended J Biztown. We also secured and trained a substitute nurse, which has been a big challenge for us this year. Anytime Nurse Cindy is out, not having a certified nurse on staff is something that has just been a challenge to find. And so we're really happy that we have found somebody who can fill in for her when she's out and has been fully trained and is ready to go. Um, we talked a little bit about low country literacy and Orton Gillingham training, but we've continued those conversations and are really excited about that potential. And then we held our 4th annual Scholars Market. I think almost all of you came out, so thank you so much. We had a tremendous turnout. We raised over $4,000. We did every year we do things a little bit better. And so our scholars all had their own shifts this year and just had a huge amount of responsibility and ownership and had a lot of fun. I always like to keep our big 5 goals front and center. We are also in the process of practicing for SC Ready because it is just a couple weeks away. So the first 2 weeks of May are SC Ready tests. So they have a lot of tests, 2 tests for English, so 2 different days for English, 2 different days for math. Fourth graders have science, and then everybody has a written response day as well for their TDW. So we're doing a lot of prep for that, making sure they're ready and they know all those good test taking strategies and that we are doubling down on any skills that we think we can just help them get across the finish line for those. So here are a couple of pictures. Scholars getting ready for Scholars Market. Lego Club. So I talked about this a little bit already. We are just in the middle of interview season and testing season right now. So we actually just enrolled 7 new scholars right after break. So we can add 7 over here to the April category. And then current enrollment, we were at 215. We are now at 222 with the 7 new scholars. The new scholars are all first and second graders. We had siblings who started the year with us and then left, and then came back. And so those are our enrolls for this. And then, obviously we have and then plus another 7. So really since the last board meeting, we've had 9 scholars enroll and no one withdraw.
And Elizabeth, are those coming from like all different sources, those scholars who have enrolled, or is it like from the closure of other schools?
I've offered all the movement families to transfer in now, also to save their seats, because especially for the rising second and third graders coming from movement, I'm not sure how many seats we'll have available. We definitely saw a spike in application numbers when movement announced that they were closing. However, no one is willing right now to transfer mid-year. It seems from what I've heard that most families that are there want to finish the year there and feel pretty good about it. We did have a number of mid-year transfers from movement prior to them announcing that they were closing.
Gotcha. So the 7 who enrolled after break came from all different schools.
Correct. None of them came from movement, from my understanding.
Okay,
Most of them, I believe, are all word of mouth from current CCA families.
got it.
And then for current applications, I know we talked about this, but we'll be looking at 42 slots for kindergarten next year. And then, so we'll be needing 98 more applications. So just about 10 applications a week for the next 10 weeks to make sure that we can have the applications in that we know will help us meet our enrollment targets. And so we're happy that we'll be able to allot some more resources to that to launch a strong social media campaign, as well as hire a few other recruiters who can just be on the ground and go to events. And so if anyone knows anyone who wants to recruit, please let me know. So now we're looking here for this K-6 model of 10 per week in kindergartens where we really need the most. We really need 5 applications per week in kindergarten. In terms of discipline data, we've seen an overall decrease in discipline, which has been great. And especially as we start to get into these warmer months, usually this is when we see a lot of behaviors and things start to increase and escalate. We're still seeing the majority of them in 1st through 3rd grade. Most of them are happening in the classroom. And then total suspensions, again, is highest in 1st through 3rd. And then when you look at our suspension data based on race, it's fairly commensurate with our overall racial makeup of our school. We are still disproportionately male with our student suspensions. And then here are some group work in kindergarten, scholars getting ready to go to first tee. On the left, this was our picture of our scholars at JA BizTown. So our 5th graders had the opportunity to do that, where they run their own economy for a day. So they all are given different roles and different jobs. And then on the right is getting prepared for Scholars Market. And then that's all I've got. Any questions for me?
All right, I think that was the 7 seconds of silence. So, any other old business? Anything? All right. Well, if that's the case, thank you again, everyone, for attending tonight and letting your voices be heard. I appreciate it. Enjoyed hearing from you and meeting those that we haven't in the past. I will move that we adjourn this meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Marcus. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you all again. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.